What's up, everybody?
My name is Anthony Irvin.
You beat yourself?
Yeah, CB myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm Jim Green.
Don't even need a hit of traffic light.
Okay, good.
Welcome to
One set.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new episode of the One Set Podcast. My name is Anthony Irvin. I'm here with my best friend, Jim Green. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great, Anth. Busy. It's been. I know that you've been busy, and you had a show last week. You had shows the last couple weekends.
I just finalized my August schedule. I had 2 gigs this month. I have 2 gigs next month. Mm-hmm. One that I can't really say about yet, but I told you about earlier offline.
Right.
And the other is I'm going back to Harry's up in Salisburyville. So I'm stoked to announce the other one because it's a first thing that's going to be happening around in the Delaware County area. But yeah, I've been staying pretty busy with the gigs, and I'm finally getting down to my setup here. I have everything pretty much ready to go that I can actually start making the new songs that I need to work on. There's still maybe a couple small things that I need to buy. But overall, a lot of things that I need for this thing are pretty much purchased. So I'm pretty stoked that I can just start actually sitting down and messing with everything. And, it's going to be fun. I think I might possibly, because at this show that I'm going to be announcing soon, I think I might be doing a soft debut with this there. I'm thinking that's my little goal there, because I might be getting like an hour set there. I thought I was only going to be able to get like a 20-25 minute set, and I'm like, there's no point in me bringing all of this for a 20-25 minute set. But they have me playing, and I'm probably going to be getting about an hour set. So I'm going to be like, okay, I was thinking that should be enough for me to at least take this, and I can throw a couple songs together, and if I have enough time to really get things going, I can probably make it work. We'll see.
Well, when you have like a bar gig, you play anywhere from 3 to 4 hours, so you usually do 3 or 4 sets, don't you?
Yeah, usually it's like a 3-hour gig. I can usually get away with like 2 long sets, but if it's like a 4-hour gig, I'll do like, I usually will like break it up with smaller sets and more smaller sets, or I'll do 2 long ones and a short third one, something like that.
Nice.
So I'm stoked. It's been a little bit, but it's finally all coming into play. So it's really cool.
Well, and yeah. the one that you're not like really talking about, it's like more of a festival thing where there's going to be a lot of people performing type thing, right?
Yeah, so it's like a small festival that's going to be happening around here pretty soon, and we just can't share the details about it yet. It's already online, so if people in the area kind of know about it, it's cool, but we are not supposed to really say anything until probably by the time this episode comes out, it might have already been announced, but I'll just wait for my aspect of saying it.
Yeah.
But it's going to be fun. It's something different that I have seen other communities do, so it'll be cool to be a participant in this type of thing. So it'll be fun. So it's been busy, just like on your end, like getting stuff, and then you're on the verge of going back into your brand new season of stuff. So we're both starting up the new season of a lot of things, and plus with school starting, we're coming up on Memorial Day weekend. If depending on when this episode comes, if it's going to be coming in between, it's actually Labor Day weekend. Or no, Memorial Day?
No, Memorial Day May. That's the way to remember it.
Yeah, then, okay. So yeah, Labor Day weekend. That's right. Yeah. So I'm not sure if this will be coming out either before or after Labor Day weekend, but we're kind of doing a little bit of pre-recording here because we're going to be so busy. So we have a couple pre-recorded episodes for you guys with this, but we have a cool thing coming on for you guys today. I thought of a little concept. We've been always talking about a food concept that we wanted to try to get into. So I had an idea of trying to think of like a meal or something that Jim and I haven't had personally, and then, or like Jim saying like, oh, I haven't had this thing before, and I haven't had this thing before, and then we both switch and say, okay, I'll buy this for you. You go and you try it out. You buy this for me. I'll go try it out, and then we, try it on the pod and kind of give our little 2 cents on what we think of it. So, yeah, it's funny how we kind of both got a little bit of the same thing, but from 2 different places.
Right. Well,
have you ever wanted to start your podcast but didn't know where to start? The One Set Bros are here to talk to you about Zencastr. Zencastr is the ultimate-based podcasting solution and now the all-in-one podcasting platform, making podcasting easy. They've sure made it easy for us to be able to record our podcast and our episodes every week for you guys. Once you've set up your account, you're simply 1 click away from recording a high-quality podcast with studio-quality sound and up to 4K video with your guests. My personal favorite feature is their multi-layer backups, which ensure our recordings are always in the highest quality, even during unstable web connections. And if you thought you needed multiple tools and services for your podcast, Zencastr's all-in-one podcasting platform allows you to create your podcast all in one place and distribute to Spotify, Apple, and other major destinations. Go to zencastr.com/pricing and use our code OneSetPod, and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencastr paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experiences we do with all our podcasting and content needs. It's time to share your story.
I thought it was going to be like kind of a surprise situation, but you had asked me like if I had the burrito bowls from Wawa yet, and I said no. And then I was like, all right, he's going burrito bowl. And I had wound up door dashing, picking up from this place that I didn't even know existed. And I'm assuming...
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
I'm assuming it's called Pancheros in media. And I'm assuming it is trying to be like a Chipotle setup, because I walked in and it's very much Mexican grill style.
Yeah,
fast
looking
food.
at the whole presentation, I'm like, this definitely has a Chipotle type of vibe to it. So I'm definitely down, and it looks.
And we both love Chipotle, so
yeah, definitely big Chipotle fans. And I was trying to think, like, okay, I mean, we usually don't get too much of a time to really. We didn't want to have to go out to buy this thing to go ship it to bring to somebody. So we already use DoorDash. So shout out to DoorDash with this. If you guys want to be running ads on our podcast, feel free.
Yeah, I've been driving 35 hours a week for it, just waiting for the dance season to pick up and get busy again. So yeah, I've done like 150 deliveries in the last week and a half. So
yeah, you've been really grinding on that.
Lots of driving, which I don't mind. It's actually, there's nobody to really answer to. You're just making sure you're dropping off people's order. It's the only confusing part is if they don't give clear instructions on where their place is. And
gotcha.
Obviously decline orders if I'm like, yeah, not feeling going to that area kind of thing.
I was going to ask you at some point, like, what, if you can probably say it on the pod, which you probably can, if not, we'll edit it out. Like, what's the most oddest or weirdest, however you want to explain it, like, what's the most oddest like order that you've gotten and had to deliver it to somebody?
Yeah, so it's not even about,
or awkward or whatever, you kind of like, something that's not like,
let's introduce the food and then I'll get into a couple dash stories. All right,
so do you want me to tell what I got for you, and then you tell them what you got for me? I mean, you already mentioned where it's coming from.
Yeah.
I just got you something from Wawa.
Yeah,
but it's like it's a burrito bowl from Wawa, because I actually had this over the weekend, because I usually get the burritos with the wrap on it, but I was like, well, let me try the burrito bowl, because I'm thinking, well, this can be an alternative. If I don't really want the calories, I can take the wrap out of it. Then that's what, like 200-300 calories less. Sometimes
I've never even actually had a burrito from Chipotle. Like, I've only ever done the burrito bowls. Yeah.
Oh yeah. That usually I'll get the burritos all the time, but when I was in my more fitness times, I would go back and forth between, okay, depending if I had enough calories to expend, I would get the burrito, but if I was on a low carb day, I would get the bowl or something.
Yeah.
So it would just really be dependent on my day.
So,
but
I have a chicken bowl here from Wawa, Um, it's a chicken burrito bowl. Just if you have had a chicken burrito bowl from Chipotle or anywhere else, it's a chicken burrito bowl. And I haven't had. I've had their chicken chicken quesadillas, like with the chicken steak.
Yeah. The chicken steak is good.
It's been a minute since I have had it, so I'm actually hoping that they have improved the recipe for it, because I feel like once Wawa started really rolling out like grilled chicken, I used to get their grilled chicken sandwich all the time.
I
haven't had it in a minute, but
so I have on here cilantro lime rice, which I really like from Chipotle, black beans, carnitas, veggies, cheese, lettuce, pico de gallo, and some guac. So you're not too far off from what I would actually like get at like a Chipotle type of thing either.
I didn't know what your preference was for beans, if you like black beans or pinto beans. I like black beans.
I usually don't get the beans because in my head I'm like, well, they're both a carb, so I'm like, if I'm gonna get one, I'll usually get rice, and but I don't mind beans. I'll eat them.
Yeah.
And when I was thinking of buying yours, when I had the burrito bowl, I had the beef steak, because usually I get the chicken steak. I'm like, let me try something different, and the beef steak was actually really good.
Yeah, they just didn't have the beef steak when like, and sometimes when you go to order through DoorDash and it's I think the orders were around 8:30 and 9 o'clock. So for Wawa on a Monday night, they're not going to have everything available back in the deli. So,
right.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, you take your first bite and then I'll take mine.
Did you microwave yours at all or nah?
I did not.
Yeah.
I don't mind having cold food at a certain point. It depends on what, but I usually don't mind cold food.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same way. I can totally do cold food. Don't mind us chewing into the microphone, people.
No. This is going to be good for the ASMR people.
Yeah. Okay. So this is definitely their grilled chicken. Like, they must have gotten rid of the old chicken steak that they used for the quesadillas and just use this chicken now. Because, like, why have two different kinds?
Right.
If you're getting good reviews on the grilled chicken, this is good. This is really good.
Yeah, when I was having it, I was like, this is definitely a good substitute if I don't want the wraps.
Yeah.
And this is good too. This says Chipotle written all over it.
I was curious because I might have had carnitas once. It's like a pulled pork almost, right?
Yeah, like I was wondering what it was, but now that you said pulled pork, I'm like, oh yeah, then it's definitely like a pulled pork without like the barbecue sauce and all like the sauces, and it's just more like just the meat. But yeah, this is definitely good.
Great idea. Let's do this again.
Next time we'll make it a mystery of like, okay, I found this. I mean, because we have to start really kind of knowing like what our boundaries are, because I usually don't have too much of a boundary on food. I'll try anything once usually, where I know sometimes you have a couple things you're like no about.
Yeah, I mean, not
a lot of things, but I know there's a couple that I know for you that you won't do.
I just used to not really be into like spicier food that much, but I've my palate has changed and I've really grown accustomed to enjoying something with a little bit of kick.
I don't mind. I never minded a little bit of kick, but when it's annoying to the point where it takes away from the actual like feeling of actually eating, I'm like, I don't like it.
Yeah, you can't enjoy the food because it's that hot.
It's hot.
Yeah.
So that never did anything for me. I mean, I don't mind having a little kick. Sometimes it makes the food better when there's a little bit of a kick.
Yeah.
But like you said, when it's just like
when you're sweating and you're salivating and you're like, I can't even eat, like you have to take a break after having a bite or two. It's too much. Way too much.
Yeah.
I was telling you that Shine and I met up with a friend of hers who had like their last day at her job.
Yeah.
This place that I'd never been to. It's called Casey's in Ridley Park. And they had pierogi quesadillas. And
you were telling me about those.
And so the next time we do this, even if you do remember that, I'm going to have to figure out how to make that the move, because it was so good. Like, so good.
If we probably do this a month later, I will forget about them. And that'll be the perfect time. Pierogi quesadillas sound so freaking good.
It's you would never think of it.
No.
Right?
No. Never would have thought those two things together.
It was
whoever thought of it just needs a high five.
Yeah. they get both hands from me. They get 10s. But it's crazy too, because I stopped in. I'm not a big chip person, but every now and again I'll try a different kind of chip, especially if it like really catches my eye.
I'm into the kettle chips right now. If you ever tried them, because they're usually a little bit less greasier than like hers and everything. I before I had to completely take out chips from my diet because it would just mess my acne up.
Right.
I would get so much acne.
Well, so much sodium.
Yeah. So now I eat them a little bit more, but I'm able to kind of, have a little bit of hold. Like, okay.
You do it in moderation. Yeah.
Moderation. Yeah. Right. So, but I'll try to have like the kettle chips and, if you've ever had like the Quest chips, like the protein chips from Quest, they're really good too.
Oh, wait, actually, I don't think I've definitely seen them, but I've never had them. And they're
really good.
I've always wanted to try them.
They're good. I've had a couple of their flavors and they're pretty good. I think they have it's almost like a Cool Ranch flavor. They have like a jalapeno flavor, which I wouldn't try. I'm not much of a jalapeno person.
See, I have done the jalapeno kettle chips and I like them because I feel like it's only a little bit of kick. It's not like you're biting into a jalapeno.
Now, see, when I see jalapeno, I don't try to.
You don't trust it. You don't trust it.
I don't trust it. I don't trust it. Yeah, unless you're telling me like mild, and even sometimes when you say mild, like how mild?
Yeah.
Like,
well, and that's like if you get wings and you ask them how their buffalo wings are, it's like how hot is the buffalo sauce on this? And when they're like it's really more like mild, I'm like, all right, give me that. But when it's buffalo sauce and it's like hot, I'm like, just give me barbecue or give me mild and like call it a day.
Yeah, like honey barbecue and just call it a day. Now there's times where I will say like, well, can you just put the sauce on the side
so that you can just give it a little dab, a little thing here and there. Yeah.
Then you be like, okay, if it is, then you can be like, then you can start dunking it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But you just give it a little bit of taste, like yeah, it's all right.
Yeah. I know. Buffalo Wild Wings has it's like Asian zing. It's got a kick to it, but I can eat them. I will have to take a break after like 4 of them, and then like just water, clear my palate kind of thing. But yeah, how was the rest of your weekend? I know you had big Monster Jam thing that with Lil Tone.
Yeah, we took him to the Hot Wheels Monster Jam Glow Live. So pretty much the Wells Fargo Center, they turned the lights down and the monster trucks lit up in like a glow light and everything. And we did the pre-show for him, and he got to meet the monster truck riders and got to take pictures in front of the monster trucks. I'll throw a couple pictures up. And then the only complaint I would say about that one versus Monster Jam is the fact that since the Wells Fargo Center is enclosed, those monster trucks, when they were revving up, like we were so close. I was like, it's awesome. We got to see them so close, but like it was almost ear piercing.
So loud, I bet. Yeah.
And he was wearing headphones, and he was still kind of going like that a little bit. When we were at Monster Jam, we were in the Lincoln Financial, so you had a lot more space.
So the sound was going up and out.
Yeah, so when they were revving, it was loud, but it was so loud in the Wells Fargo Center. So, and the show was good, but I feel Monster Jam was a lot better because Monster Jam, they were doing a whole bunch of other stunts where this time they were just basically jumping on cars and smashing cars. So this one was more catered to kids. Where Monster Jam, it's almost like all ages. You get the monster trucks, you get the high flying things, you get a lot more of the tricks and everything. So I think next time, if Monster Jam comes back next year around this area, I think we are definitely going to, put forth the money with the ticket and the pre-show because you get to see the monster trucks just like we did with this one. And then you get a couple like behind the scenes stuff. Like when we did the pre-show just this past weekend, like they gave us like the what do you call them? The necklace with like the tour banner thing. The bands
like the lanyard.
Lanyard, there you go. That's the word. So we got like lanyards, and it had like the Hot Wheels, pre-show thing on there, and it had like you can fill out your name and everything. And then when we went into the pre-show area, after you get to see like all the monster trucks, they had like a whole play area for the kids. They had like a whole bunch of monster trucks. They had the ramps and everything you can just play off of. The kids are going insane. And it's the first time that he actually got to play with kids that all knew monster trucks as well. Because a lot of his friends, like, they'll just play with him, but they don't really know the monster trucks. He has a couple kids in his class that know them, but it was fun to just see him interact with other kids that know how to play with them the right way. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So then there was this other spot where he got to, take a photo, and he got like a personal driver's license. So that was pretty cool. So again, all catered to kids, and it was funny. So I'll say this one thing. So again, you go there, you're going to get merch, you're going to get food for the kids. It's all there. So he sees this blue thing. It was cotton candy. He's never had cotton candy yet.
Oh.
He's had cotton candy water ice, but he's never had the actual cotton candy itself. So we're like, okay, it's in the afternoon. We know it's a bunch of sugar. He'll be fine. Well, it's not like he's having it at night.
Carnivals aren't like they were when we were kids, man. So yeah, I totally get that.
So we get the cotton candy for him. He takes one bite and he's like, "What's this?" He's like, "What flavor is this?" I said, "It's cotton candy." He's like, and he did not like. I just don't think he liked the fluffy and like furriness
the
of
texture, because it does taste like
because it'll melt in your mouth. I don't think he liked it. He took one little bite. He's like, it's almost like he was about to say, "What the fuck is this, Dad?" Like, I'm like, "It's cotton candy, dude." He just gave it right back. He's like, "No." So when me and Jen ended up eating the rest of it, I haven't had cotton candy in years. So that was the first time I've had cotton candy in a long time.
I think I got some at the boardwalk whenever the last time I was at the beach. Like, haven't gone to the beach yet this summer. I don't know if we're going to make it, and we're both kind of like, we can try to make like a Long Beach trip next year kind of thing and just hold off.
Yeah.
Like, we're both like pretty good with not having to go to the beach. Now, you guys getting the kids to the beach?
Yeah, after we come back from Knoebels this upcoming weekend, depending on whenever this episode comes out, the Labor Day weekend, the following week we're going to be going down the shore. So we'll be down Ocean City, Jersey.
Very cool.
For a week. But we'll do half the week. Like, we'll go to the weekend, come back Monday night, work till Wednesday, go back down Wednesday night into Saturday. So essentially we'll only really be home for 2 days and then go back down the shore.
Yeah. So, and that's like your kind of routine situation. You've been doing that for the past couple years, right?
Couple years, yeah.
It's good you don't have to miss an entire like full week of work kind of thing.
Yeah, and it might change next year, because this time next year, depending if all goes good, Anthony's most likely going to be starting kindergarten next year, which is insane to say. So we might push our vacation time to August.
Well, you would have to, because he'd be starting school.
He'd be starting school at that point. So, which is good right now because when we go down there at this time, a lot of the kids are,
they're already in school, so there's not
they're
a
already
ton
in
of them.
school.
Yeah.
So when we're back on like the Wednesday nights, Thursday and Fridays, not many kids are there. So when we can do the rides and stuff, he can get on them a little bit quicker.
Right.
Even that Monday, so we'll take like a long day Monday and do that stuff.
Just less chaotic because it's less busy. A lot of people are not down there at that time, right?
So yeah, we'll probably push it back to August next year if he's ready to go into kindergarten. So that'll probably be our month to, and that was usually when we were kids too. August was like the last of the hurrahs before school started.
Yeah.
So
you and I did that trip between 8th and 9th grade. Yeah. Philly cheesesteak story.
Yeah. Oh man. Too good.
If y'all haven't heard that story, that is, I want to say, our first pool episode that we did.
That had to be around episode 30, between episode 30 and 35, I think.
Yeah, that sounds right.
This is really good, dude. And you said you haven't ate at this place
like
yet.
I said, I didn't even know it existed until I think it was. Was that this past Saturday? I think that no. I can't remember if it was this past Saturday or Saturday before. Neither here nor there.
Well,
but
knowing that we're both Chipotle fans, you're gonna dig this.
All right, I'm stoked.
Shout out again to
Pancheros
Mexican Grill and Media.
Yeah, it's
if you want to run ads on our pod, be happy to have you guys.
Have at it.
Have at it.
Yeah, I think it's if you know where the big Wawa is on Baltimore Pike. I think it's like right behind it, kind of.
Okay. So right off of State Street, then.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yep. Yeah, I think you're going to be.
I'll be there tomorrow.
I love that. And dude, get not carnitas, get the chicken or the steak, and just see if
it's really not bad. The carnitas are not that bad, but I'll definitely try chicken and beef.
They have a tofu one if you wanted to go plant-based, but I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't.
Have you had tofu before?
I've tried it. Yeah, because
it's very bland. But
I was, someone I was dating many moons ago went vegan for about 5 months, so they were
a hot minute.
Yeah, they were on. Yeah, just like everything else in their life. But don't. At any rate,
yeah. If I could touch my drum set, I would do it. Hit the sound here.
Yep. But yeah, that was like the best source of protein. So I definitely tried it, and it's really not bad. It's
not.
If I was starving and someone said, "Oh, well, here I have a tofu bowl from Pancheros," I'd be like, "Oh, I'll definitely eat that."
If it's the only thing I have to eat, then yeah, I'll go.
Yeah.
I'll go with it. It's not bad. It's just not your normal, chicken that you're used to. So,
yeah, because it ain't chicken at all. It's from a plant.
It's grown from the earth, my man.
Yeah, from the earth. But yeah, we had our sister's 21st birthday on Saturday, so that was cool. Which, yeah, we just went out to dinner, and she obviously had a couple beverages, and then we just went back and hung out. Her and her boyfriend just moved into an apartment. I helped them move in.
Nice.
Like a month ago. They've only been there about a month now. So, yeah, we just went back and hung out there. Her mom got her a bar cart. You know what a bar cart is, where people just have the little side cart with their like liquor and wine bottles on it.
Yeah.
So, I was like, all right, bust that bad boy open. Let me put this together. So I just like building, man. So
yeah, I think it's in our DNA.
Yeah. And then yesterday, I was up at my friend's. He wouldn't mind if I name dropped him. Our friend Mike that was actually on the podcast with me. He and I have a dance friend, Reggie, who is just a beast of a dancer. He always does a fantasy draft, and I got in on it last year, and I think I landed second to last, but I was like, all right, I had to like learn my way around it the first year. I'm pretty stoked about my roster, and we'll talk about it more as we get into football talk going into the season.
Yeah, my first year doing the fantasy stuff, I ate poop as well.
I ate poop.
I had no clue what I was doing.
Sheesh.
It took me a couple weeks.
Oh yeah, it was halfway through the season, and if I ran into my buddy Mike, I was like, "What am I doing here?" And he's like, let me help you out here. Even though he was in the league, he didn't mind lending me a helping hand because he just knew who I had drafted. It's not like when he and I faced each other that I was going to be anywhere close to beating him for the week kind of thing.
Right.
But I'm pretty excited. It just, I walked into that draft and I was like, it doesn't even feel like football is a thing yet because I just know it's a September thing. Like, if they started the regular season in August, it would feel like the kids who go back to school in August. I still don't understand it. College, I get that that's a different thing, but yeah, like,
well, especially with the draft, it's like, and I'm sure it means this is obvious. I mean, you're usually doing the draft before the regular season starts, so that you're not really getting an advantage to when you're doing the draft during the first or second week, because then there's already teams that have people that are playing, and then you can kind of get an advantage. Like, oh well, he did great this week. Let me pick him.
Right.
So everybody starts at a clean slate. Then when you're picking them, then it's like, okay, you're just basically going off last year's stats or the fact that, okay, we know these certain groups of people are good, but then it's harder when it gets down to like the lower parts of the roster when you get further into the rounds, and all the big name players have gotten out of there.
After like 4 or 5 rounds, it was just kind of like, well, whoever's left towards the top, I guess.
Right.
Well, and I think really like having watched like the Pat McAfee show, I wouldn't say I watched it a lot, but maybe not recently, but like once or twice a week I was watching it, and I know that they cover all the sports stuff. So names that I hear and clips that I've seen through that, and
he's definitely helped. I was watching some of his show last year during the season, and that definitely helped. Kind of know like who's in the realms of, good and bad, who's doing good with certain things. So they do a good job with their broadcasting.
Yeah. So that was fun. I was like doing the draft, and I was like, wow, football starts like next week, and it's crazy.
It's back, baby.
Yeah. My one studio starts back next week, and I'm there twice a week. So, and it's Tuesdays and Thursdays, so it's not like I'm going back-to-back days. And then my other 2 studios, I don't start until the 3rd week of September. So I won't get like my first full weekend until the 3rd week of September, which usually by the 2nd week, most of them are up and moving. My one studio, I just found out, she just found out that a bunch of people had like a back to school functions on like the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or it was the Monday and Tuesday. And then she didn't want to start on September 11th. So she's starting on Thursday the 12th. and I teach on Wednesday. So I was like, well, I will see you on Wednesday, September 18th.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, she started on,
I will see you then.
she started on September 11th last year, and I forget what happened, but it just like started her whole season off not great, and she's like, I'm avoiding it like the plague. I was like, you do what you got to do. I don't care. Just tell me.
Yeah, right.
Tell me when you start, and I'll be here.
I'm doing May.
Yeah, but it's good because my one studio in Wilmington, I'm adjusting a lot of my class structure a little bit for my classes, so it'll be nice to get the first 2 weeks in with just that studio first, and then the Maryland studio that I have competition pieces that I'm setting, I actually go tomorrow and Wednesday to get started on some of the solos and duos down there, and then next Wednesday I go in to start my like hip hop group piece. So just getting like creative juices and music all kind of in line for that this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So by the time that we're recording, like you and I are recording again in a couple weeks, well, we have episodes, everybody. So
Yeah.
we're keeping this train rolling one a week. And that's the thing that you and I have been just the most proud of, is that we have made this work once a week for.
Yeah. And now that we kind of know that we can do these things on our own as well, like we don't necessarily always have to be together, which we love being together no matter what. But now that we've this year have done a couple solo ones, if we have to batch a couple things and bank a couple things, at least we know we can do solo ones as well, or get a guest. Like it's not always like the fact that if we're running into something and we can't bank a couple things together, we can always be like, well, if we can't make it work, I'll just throw a solo one in here, or we'll get a guest and talk to somebody, so we've definitely grown in the fact that, we can, know that we can do it solo and we can do it with other people as well. But obviously the more and better thing is when we're both together doing this thing.
Yeah. And
it's just been a good like evolving of what we can do now.
Well, and it helped that while you were out for like, how long were you actually out? Like 3 months? Well, oh yeah, because
just about 3 months.
Because February we had all of the Game of Thrones series. We had those backlogged from like November, December. So
yeah. I still remember finishing those up, and it was like the beginning of December, and I think we filmed 2 of them. We tried to film the third one, and then I had to leave real quick, and then it took us another like 2-3 weeks to finish it up.
That was the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, because I remember Jen got out of work earlier, and you're like, gotta wrap this up, bro. Yeah. I was like, all right, no worries. We were trying to film that in the middle of the day though. So like,
it was kind of like impromptu, like let's try to get this done if we can, cool. If not, but we had those banked for a little while, so that took care of February. But we did a good job of, really preparing everything the best that we could. And it was funny, like we were just the first 2 weeks of January, I'm like, I'm still here.
Yeah.
I'm still here. Yeah. And the next week, all right, I'll see you later. Yeah. And it didn't even feel that long, because I think the fact that we had the backed up episodes, so, people still saw me up until February, and then in March, then is really when the solo episodes really came in.
I started doing the solo episodes, and then I hadn't really I didn't dive into doing a lot of the editing. Like, you have handled all of the video editing for the first 100 episodes, I think it was. So I did the solo episodes, which is just a straight shot and like just clip. Here's the episode. Okay, get the ads in, and like that wasn't bad. But I had, when I met up with Mike, it was in February, and then we recorded for like 2.5 hours, and I was like, all right, this is a beast to take on. And then I just finally sat down and did it the one day, and then I was like waiting on him to approve some things, and there were a couple things he's like, yeah, maybe leave that part out from now on. But yeah, and that's the best thing is we have the flexibility because the two of us both like are seasoned in being able to edit and all that, which is great, and it's made it a lot easier if one of us is like, yeah, I can't do this week, or I know next week I'm gonna be too stacked, and that's why it was like it's made it a lot easier for you, really, because you were doing all of the editing beforehand. So if you have like a, I'm just saying the same thing over and over again at this point. Sorry.
Yeah, it's just able to the workflow has been a lot more easier, and it's been a better flow, if you can say. The fact that we can bounce off each other and be like, hey, I'll take this week, you take next week, or I'll take these, you take that. Hey, I can't go this week, let's bank a couple things. Or hey, I can't go, and it's like a last minute thing. Okay, well, if we can't, I'll do a solo thing. So we now know that we can fluctuate with a bunch of different scenarios that come up.
It's been really, really great. And thank you to everyone who has been sticking along with us.
This year has definitely been challenging with, going with everything that's been happening. It's definitely been challenging, but hey, we've still been going and putting out content every week. Even like I told you,
we're coming up on episode 150 in like 12 weeks. It's just
so it's just crazy. That's going to be here before we know it. And I know we haven't had a lot of in-person stuff, but I feel, once we get a swing of things with Grayson getting into, the 1 year mark, I think we'll start being able to get a couple things going in a little bit more. And into the next season, we'll probably have a couple more in-person ones. This year has just been a very like swing by the time and like kind of see how things go. But again, we haven't missed a week, and we've always been on the ball and trying to overthink. Like if we have certain weeks coming up, we try to tackle them before they come up instead of being like, well, we should have done this weeks ago, but now we're in a bubble. We always try to be proactive and trying to think weeks ahead when it comes, especially during like the big holiday season, October, November, December. It's usually the times where we're really trying to bank a lot of stuff, especially in December is usually we usually give ourselves a little bit of that break time in between the holidays.
Yeah. Well, the last 2 weeks of December are just crazy. Like you're all over the place getting ready for Christmas itself. And then in the week between Christmas and New Year's, it's like, there's just always stuff going on. And I think you and I we did our Christmas episode last year. I think we did that 2 weeks, 2 weeks into December, but that was like, we did that one in person in front of your platform. And then we had like the rest until January already set. So
we didn't have much to do there. And I think, the Christmas episode was when I came back from the temporary leave because everything happened with the job circuit. So I was out for like a week or two there. So the Christmas thing was like, oh, good. I haven't done the podcast in a while, so it was good to kind of get back and doing that again. So, and then especially coming after the paternity leave, I was like, oh, feels good to just be back in the pod talking and doing this thing. And all in all, I mean, this year has just been great. And we're only, we still have 4 or 5 months still, but I feel even with everything that's been happening, we've had the WrestleMania stuff. We got to do our first live pod at WrestleMania. And we've had 1 or 2 videos go skyrocketing high with our Uncle Howdy reaction and like our clips. I haven't even checked it lately, but the last time I saw it was, I'm sure it's kind of closer to like 19,000 views right now. So that's insane. Never would have thought. I mean, I definitely thought, okay, we're gonna probably get a couple hundred views because it's the big thing now. But when that sucker started going past 5,000 and 10,000, I'm like, oh crap, this is really taking off.
Yeah. I mean, and that's like I told you, like if we want more stuff like that, it's just about keeping like really on top of current,
and it's the time,
current topics, and it's like, okay, if something's happening on Monday Night Raw and you want it to get a lot of if you want to get that view count up, you got to push something out tomorrow. Like it's got to be It's got to be there like ASAP, and that's just the way the internet is with information. It's like if something happens, you're going to read an article from somewhere that that they regularly update their content. So
absolutely.
Yeah. Other than that, like our pod episodes coming out every week, it's just about us talking about our personal lives for like 10, 15, 30 minutes. So yeah, other than that, is there any wrestling talk that we want to do just to kind of tie this one up for a little bit?
Yeah. Again, we saw that AEW had their All In London this past weekend, and one of the bigger things that's going around was Bryan Daniels winning the AEW championship, the world title. So that was, I was excited to see him win something because he had won a belt prior to that, right? I think, or is that his first belt that he's won in AEW?
I'm
gonna say that he won something since.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
I know we're both not big AEW, and we don't really watch AEW religiously. But I'm gonna say he probably did win at least one belt prior to that. Maybe
he might have been like a tag champion, but I
mean, I could be wrong.
I think that guys like Bryan Danielson and your big name people that are in AEW, they don't need the belts. It's all the guys that you're trying to really like, get investment into that are like AEW guys, or they came up through the indies and are there now. They're the ones that like need the belt. So it's people saying, okay, well, if the belt's on them, they must be pretty decent. And I just feel like that makes their overall product a little bit more attractive. Right. And I say that having not really watched any AEW at all recently. But yeah, I think Bryan Danielson getting that title win, it's nice, and but they're talking about him winding down to part-time, and I think that's just with the ongoing health concerns on his end. And so I think that they gave him that big win, and he I think he's only going to hold that belt for like 4 or 5 months, and then he'll wind up dropping it, which is fine. He can say once he actually retires that he had
he at least has that in his pocket.
He had a championship reign, and it was. I'm sure it'll be good. I hope we get a couple of decent programs. I know Kenny Omega is out for the foreseeable future. So
I heard. Yeah, I mean he's really not doing good on that aspect, but yeah,
he's banged up. He's got some,
but he's been through the ringer a lot too in the past. So he's had a lot of banged up matches too. So
this, I guess he was interviewed and really came out about Roman Reigns being the next John Cena. And that being Vince McMahon sat him down after WrestleMania 30 and was like, glad you had your moment, but we're like, and we have great things going for you, but like, we're still staying the course of Roman Reigns is like the next John Cena. That was the move. So I think about Daniel Bryan at the time going out when he did. Probably just worked in his favor, given that the company wasn't gonna move him or keep him at the top of the mountain. Like Mania 31, where he won the Intercontinental title match or the ladder match. I was like, okay, this is really good because everybody loves him. and he fits the mold for an Intercontinental Champion. Like, and Mania 31 was when we got the Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar main event and the Seth cash-in. So,
yeah, true.
Yeah, I have no idea what Triple H would do with Daniel Bryan now, but I don't see him ever going back to WWE despite Vince McMahon being gone.
I think he's content with AEW just for the same fact that how you were saying that he's on borrowed time as it is, so there's no point of him trying to reschedule a contract and trying to go for another multi-year, like 3-5 year contract with another person when you're already thinking, time is, coming up on your end. So, I mean, I could probably see him when he's retired, maybe doing some things with AEW or WWE in the background or as a non-competitor type of thing, maybe depending on what those relationships look like for him eventually. But as far as him making one more run in WWE, I don't
see it either. I think that he just sticks with AEW because he's got. Yeah. There's so many people that he would like to work with or has worked with in that roster. I don't know who would benefit working with him in WWE at this point, unless if it was Dominic Mysterio or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, I wouldn't entirely hate.
I think Daniel worries more about, and this is not a bad thing, he worries more about having quality matches than just like having, the entertainment part of it as well. But he's more about having quality matches and wrestling matches than dealing with, the drama and, the entertainment part of it. Because the entertainment part of it is just another part of the pro wrestling field. But, when you're a wrestler, you're bound to be like, okay, well, just being in the ring and having quality matches is something that you can just be down for as it is.
How long do you think his career has left? I guess real quick, I'll look up how old he is.
Yeah, it really takes. I'm going to say maybe he's what? He can't be over 40.
No, I think he might be
37, 38.
He's like our age, I think.
Yeah, which is insane.
He's 43. So he's okay. He just turned 43 in May. Yeah.
Okay.
So
I was initially thinking maybe 2 or 3 years.
Okay.
Tops.
Yeah. If
he stays healthy,
if he's dropping to part-time, I still can't see him going past like 46. So that's like 3 years time. And he'll be like, okay, I had a career and I think he'll be good with it. I think he'll work it as long as, he has a good working relationship with Tony Khan. I think that he'll do backstage producing and things like that to help build the matches. Join the creative team, something like that.
Yeah.
How long do you think Roman Reigns has left? Again, wouldn't hurt to know his age, right?
Right. I think once this bloodline stuff is finished, I think he's finished.
So do you think
2 years?
Because right now they're saying The Rock and Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41 and The Rock and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 42, which was like kind of how I felt after The Rock left when he told Cody The Rock's got to go away for a little while. I was like, yeah, I don't think he's coming back for SummerSlam. Like, and the thing is, like, with them talking about like the new bloodline with Solo and going against Roman, some people are like, oh yeah, and then you get The Rock in there. I was like, I think when The Rock comes back, he jumps straight into the program with Cody Rhodes. Like,
yeah, I mean, with Solo, I don't see it from what his character's like right now, unless it gets to a point. I don't see him forming an alliance with The Rock. I think Solo's trying to ride himself as the team that he has, so you can have like a 3-way bloodline thing going, like Roman Reigns, The Rock, Solo, something like that.
Yeah, I think
you just got to think who The Rock is going to bring in from the Samoan family, which is a lot to come from.
There's a couple other guys out there that I don't know if they're at the Performance Center yet, but they're out there and waiting. So it's just it's just a matter of once you get Roman Reigns and the Usos together, Sami Zayn's probably going to be in that picture at some point, and then you get Solo and Jacob Fatu and holy smokes, Tonga Loa.
Yeah. And the other guy.
It's Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. That's right. Well, the one guy is just kind of like trolling around, not really doing too much. So,
yeah, there's been a lot of things with the other dudes.
But they hold the SmackDown tag team titles right now. So it's, I don't know. I think from what I read, Triple H is going to be putting a lot more investment in the tag titles being relevant on the PLEs in the near future. So it's good because they've kind of just been there.
Yeah, but not really putting too much emphasis on title matches with them.
So the Judgment Day has them for Raw right now. I was trying to remember who had them on Raw, but you almost forget that they hold the tag belts just because the whole faction is important in storyline with the Terror Twins, which is Priest and Rhea Ripley right now.
Yeah.
So as far as Bash and Berlin goes, I mean, Gunther retaining against Randy Orton is almost guaranteed. I mean, there is the stipulation where if Randy Orton wins, he moves to Raw and Gunther switches to SmackDown. So Cody Rhodes defending against Kevin Owens.
I think it'll be a good match, but obviously Cody's going to pull it out.
Yeah, Cody's going to pull that out. Priest and Rhea Ripley against Dom and Liv. I kind of don't care about the match because they're going to be feuding for a while.
The feud's still going to go on. So whoever wins, it's still going to keep it going. It's just going to, kind of bring fire to, just one side or the other. Yeah. It's either going to flip to one side or flip the other. So, I mean, it's kind of like a 50-50. I mean...
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to get Rhea and Liv at Bad Blood. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
We are getting CM Punk and Drew McIntyre in a strap match. Okay, so they're going to be attached to the strap kind of thing.
Yeah, CM Punk last Friday came out with the strap and, started talking. And I'm like, once he brought that, I'm like, okay, a strap match. And we haven't had one of those in a while.
And then we have Alba Fire and Isla Dawn defending against Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Again, you're in Germany, so you have Unholy Union who are from Europe. Like it makes total sense why that match is on the card. And if they're gonna start the split with Bianca and Jade, I'd say soon is probably a good call for that. Other than that, we usually have a way more in-depth breakdown for our predictions. Again, I think it's just a glorified house show when they do these international shows because, again, it's happening on a Saturday in the middle of the day, and especially when it's landing on a holiday weekend.
Yeah, we're both going to be away, and we're going to be out during the day, so we won't be able to get to see it. We'll probably catch the replays. I'll definitely catch the replays, but I'm not going to be able to watch it live.
Yeah, me neither.
So I'll catch a couple of them. But, yeah, those are our quick predictions on that. Wanted to try to keep this one short just because we have a couple things going on, and, this food idea was definitely great. We definitely got to do that again.
And thank you for the chicken burrito bowl. I now know that Wawa's chicken burrito bowl is actually not that bad. And when I say not that bad, I just mean if I really want a chicken burrito bowl, I'm gonna get it from Chipotle most of the time. If I'm out near one, for sure. But if I was really craving one and I was like, yeah, I could just get it at Wawa. Like, especially the Wawa.
That's how I feel.
I have a Wawa not 5 minutes from me. The Chipotle is like 15 or 20 minutes away from me. So
that's how I was just feeling too. Like if I don't want to go all the way up to the mall to go to Chipotle, which I keep forgetting we got a Chipotle up there. But if I feel if I don't want to go all the way up there to get a burrito or a bowl, I know at least Wawa will be a good second.
Yeah. And
I
don't know how often you're in media. I know you said you're going there tomorrow to Pancheros, but now you at least know, like, okay, if you're in media, because they don't have a Chipotle right there, obviously you can go to Granite Run, but if you're in downtown and you're feeling one, that's probably the spot to go.
Yeah. And I from what I know Jen is like a Chipotle person, but I'm more of the lover of it more than her. But I think she would dig something like this too.
There you go.
So that'll definitely be something that I would want. I'll get her to try something from there too. But yeah, that was good. You definitely got to order something from there too now. So I definitely recommend it. It's great.
I plan on it now. And again, we were supposed to do something that we've had that we know the other person hasn't had, and I was like, let me switch this up just a little bit. So when I told you earlier, yeah, you're getting a DoorDash from this place called Pancheros. You were like, yeah, never heard of it. As far as I know, it probably just opened because I just happen to have a DoorDash pickup from there, which we'll save stories for DoorDash for a different time, especially.
Yeah,
I will be doing it for the foreseeable future. Obviously, when I go back to teaching, it will be much less. But I've done it so much that I've like worked my way up from the silver to gold to platinum Dasher rewards, which is just I get like first priority on the large paying orders. So yeah, things like that. I think lifetime I've had almost 300 deliveries now. So I definitely have stories, and we'll get into that at a different time. Anthony, let's wrap this one up. All right. We talked about doing another one. I'll see if you're feeling up to it, because I know you're sleepy, bro.
Yeah, we'll see if we're gonna get another one in. If not, we'll schedule the next one. But this has been fun. This is gonna be another one. Maybe we'll have you guys throw some comments in there, and we'll probably put some posts up on our pages when we're going to think about doing this again. Maybe you guys can give us some ideas too. You don't even have to be local, but within the region, because obviously we can't get something that's not in our
general area,
vicinity. But you guys can give us some ideas. Maybe we'll just pick something from those, so maybe you guys can help us out. So once again, thank you guys for tuning in. It's been another episode of the One Set Podcast. Please like and subscribe. We're here every Friday, 9 a.m., new episodes. Check us out on Spotify. Subscribe right here on YouTube. Hit us up on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all at One Set Pod. And you can hit us up on our email at onesetpod@gmail.com. Send us an email with any comments or anything you like about the show. We have merch up on our merch store, which is right in our descriptions. And we also have a Patreon that we're trying to build up too, which is free right now. So feel free to click on those too. So, and if anything, share with a friend. If you like the pod, you like what we're doing, share with a friend. We're always willing to get some new friends in here and get some new watchers. So we appreciate you guys.
Yeah, man. Thank you, everybody. All the love to you, and love you, brother. Thank you so much. Until next time.
Until next time. Just One Set.